Hello everyone. We're going to be taking a look at the CAMI document for 4.5. And what this document has, if I zoom out, is about 12 questions with inequalities graphed. And we're going to write what the inequality is for each of these graphs. So up at the top, you can put your name. And then I'm going to kind of zoom in so we can really see one graph at a time. And you can do that as well in CAMI. There's a zoom option. So I'm just going to zoom all the way in. So we're just focusing on question 1 right now. And I'm going to move my face over here. Okay. So when we're writing our inequalities, we're still identifying the key components, just like with equations, which is our slope, which we know we refer to as m, and our y-intercept, which we refer to as b. So, in this line, the first thing we can notice is we can figure out what the slope is. So from one point to the next, and maybe you use the 2 points that are highlighted, or you can use other points that you see. I'm going to stick to using these points and draw a little slope triangle. You can use your pen tools, draw all over these graphs. It looks like we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since we're going down, that's a -5. And we're going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our slope is -5 over 5, which we can just simplify to -1. Our y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, is here at this value of 1. So now the next thing we want to do is figure out what type of symbol we're using. So looking at this graph, we see that it's dashed, and we also see that it's shaded below. So below means it's definitely going to be a less than symbol. And if it's dashed, it's just going to stay less than, not less than or equal to. So putting it all together, we have y is less than -1x plus 1. And there's our first graph that has a slope of -1, a y-intercept of 1, and it's a dashed line shaded below. So take anything you want and make sure you have that inequality written for number 1. And then I'm going to start to clear up my board a little bit so we can get ready for number 2. Actually, I'm just going to do this. Okay, here's number 2. Beautiful. So we have a slope. First of all, there's no specific points highlighted, so we can just pick 2 points. I can pick these 2 that are right next to each other. They're both crossing right on the grid line. And we see that we're going up 1 over 1. So our slope is 1. That's our m. The y-intercept is going through right at the origin, which has a y-intercept of 0. This is a solid line, so because it's solid, we're going to have the or equal to underneath, and it's shaded below. Whenever it's below, it's less than. If you have trouble remembering which is less than, which is greater than, less than kind of looks like an L. It's, much more slanted than an L, but that's how I remember in my brain. It's in the direction of an L versus greater than is opening the other direction. Okay. So we're going to use less than or equal to because it's solid. So we have y is less than or equal to 1x or just x plus 0. So we can also just write y is less than or equal to x. We don't have to have the plus 0. You can, but you don't have to. Beautiful. Get everything you need for number 2, and I'll clear my board, and we'll push over to number 3. Number 3 is a vertical line. Vertical lines have an undefined slope. So it's not technically a function. So we always write those as x equals some number when it's a line. And the number is always whatever the x-intercept is. So on this graph, we see our x-intercept at -2. So we know we're going to have an x and a -2. Now we have to figure out what symbol we're using. Because it's dashed, it's either going to be less than or greater than, because it's a dashed line. We are shading to the right where those x values are getting bigger. So all of these x values are getting bigger, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's increasing. So we're looking for x values that are greater than -2 because it is going to the right where those x values are increasing. Beautiful. So that's our final answer. X is greater than -2. I will clear my board and I'm going to make my way over to number 4. Beautiful. Number 4 is this horizontal flat line. This has a slope of 0. Slope of 0. There's no increase, no decrease. It's just flat. And our y-intercept of this line is right here at that +2. That's where it crosses the y-axis. This is a solid line. So because it's solid, it's either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. But we are shading below, so that's going to be less than or equal to because it's shaded below. So we have y is less than or equal to 0x plus 2, right? Because the slope is 0, which we can just write as y is less than or equal to 2. Beautiful. Make sure to plug that in for number 4, whatever other notes you want to add, and pause the video at any time if I'm going too fast. If you need to rewind it and go back, that's always okay. That's why the video is hopefully supportive. And we're going to go to question 5. Question 5, we see our y-intercept here. Be careful with how this graph is labeled. Notice it's going up by 2s. 2 blank, 6 blank, 10. So this is actually a y-intercept of 4, right? This would be 8. It's increasing by 2s. Same thing down here, increasing by 2. So our y-intercept is 4. Our slope, if I pick 2 points here and here, we're going down 1 box, which is really going down from 6 to 4. So it's going down 2 values in the y, and we're going over 2 boxes from -4 to 0. So we're going over 4. -2/4. We can simplify that fraction by dividing them both by 2, and we would get -1/2. That's just the simplified version. It is dashed. So because it's dashed, it is either going to be less than or greater than. There's not going to be a line underneath. And this is definitely shaded below, so it'll be less than. So we have y is less than -1/2 x plus 4. Plugging it into our slope-intercept form. Push over to question 6 when you're ready. Okay, check our axis. They're just increasing by 1 this time. That's something always good to be aware of. Our y-intercept is at this value of 3. And our slope, find another point. Here's another point. We are going up 1, 2, 3, and we're going over 1. So our slope is 3 over 1, which we can just write as 3. This is a solid line shaded below. So this would be less than or equal to. So we have y is less than or equal to 3x plus 3. And if you're not sure, like sometimes the line like this is tricky. You can always plug in a point. For example, remember 0, 0 is a great point to plug in. When we plug this in, we should get a true statement because it's in the shaded region. So that would be 0 is less than or equal to 3 times 0 plus 3. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. And 0 is less than 3. So it's true. So we did choose the correct symbol. Again, sometimes it's like hard to tell what's above or below. You can always plug in a point and test that. Beautiful. I am going to clear my board and go to question 7. Here we are. Question 7, our y-intercept is where it crosses that y-axis, right, at this value of -3. And our slope, if we find a couple points, has a rise of up 3 over 2, right? Up 3 over 2. There's another point. Up 3. Ooh, wait. That doesn't look like it's lining up. Hold on. Oh, I think it is. It's just off a little bit. So up 3 over 2. It's a very blurry graph. And this is dashed and shaded below. So many belows. So that will just be less than. So we have y is less than 3/2 x minus 3. Beautiful. Get everything you need. Push ahead to slide or to question 8. I'm going to erase my board. All right, here we go. Our y-intercept is right here at this very blurry value of 5. And our slope, looking for another point that we can use. So I'm going to use the y-intercept, definitely. And then let me see. This is not a great graph. My apologies. Well, we'll use this. This looks like a point right here where it's crossing. So our slope is going down 1 and over to the right. So we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do a slope of -7/5. This is dashed and it's shaded above. So above is going to be greater than. Since it is dashed, it's just greater than, not equal to. So we have y is greater than -7/5 x plus 5. Beautiful. Sorry, this graph is not great. I would not give you a super blurry graph like this on a quiz or anything. Let's look at question 9 next. So question 9, we have that y-intercept at 1, 2, 3, 4. And our slope, here's a point, here's a point. So we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4 and over 2. So our slope is 4 over 2. It is dashed and shaded below. So it'll just be less than. So we have y is less than. 4 divided by 2 is also simplified to just 2x plus 4. Check out part 2 for the last 3 problems. Nice job so far, everyone. You got this. Keep cruising.